Although the law school admissions process is primarily numbers driven, it's your LSAT score, your GPA, and then everything else, admission officers are still real people and they can be persuaded by compelling essays. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you how to write a concise, compelling addendum to explain away as much as possible a low LSAT score or a GPA to mitigate the weaknesses in your application if the numbers aren't telling the full story. Because, of course, admissions is about more than just the stats. Admission officers are admitting real people, real applicants to add to their incoming law school class. And so in the cases where your GPA is lower than it would have been or could have been or should have been, or same goes for your LSAT, you may want to write an addendum. And so in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to structure your addendum explanation for a low LSAT or a GPA, what to include, and how to leave a lasting positive impression on admissions officers. First, for those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now, the first thing you should know is that an addendum is not about making excuses. It's not about blaming anybody else. It's about providing context that numbers don't reveal. If your academic record has gaps or dips or inconsistencies, admission officers are going to notice, they are seeing that transcript, and so don't let them assume the worst. Instead, you want to write an addendum to take the opportunity to explain the circumstances and show how you've grown since that time. Because it's better for you to be the one to control the narrative of your application than to leave it to chance and potential misunderstandings. The biggest mistake that I see applicants making with an addendum for a low LSAT or a low GPA is that they're rambling, they're not structuring their story, they're going on, making excuses. You want your addendum to be short and factual. Think about it like a professional explanation, not an expository essay with tons of details. Ideally, you want to keep it short and sweet, just one paragraph, 4 or 5 sentences max, because the longer you dwell on the negatives, the more attention you are drawing to the negatives. Instead, be direct, state the facts as matter-of-factly as possible, and focus on what you've done to learn the lesson from any mistakes or previous situations and to overcome any challenges that you faced to address potential concerns about what would happen if this were to occur in the future. So you want to state the issue straightforwardly. For example, during my third year of college, I faced significant health challenges. Secondly, provide context. This resulted in a temporary drop in my GPA, and then end on a positive note. Since recovering, I've consistently maintained a 4.0 GPA, demonstrating my academic capabilities. And this nice thing about this example is that it shows an upward trend, explaining away a temporary dip that hopefully we would expect will not occur again in the future. Now recognize that not every low LSAT score, not every single low GPA is going to warrant an explanation. It's not always going to warrant an addendum. You want to focus on situations where there's a clear, meaningful reason for the low numbers. Now, when it comes to the question of how to write an addendum for a low LSAT score, the first thing you want to recognize is that not every single LSAT score needs an explanation. Not every single low LSAT score needs an addendum. You're going to want to focus specifically on situations where there's a clear, specific reason for discrepancy between a low LSAT and a high LSAT. This could involve situations where there was a large discrepancy between test attempts, ideally a low score followed by a higher score. This could involve external circumstances that may have affected test day, like a bad proctor or a tech issue or nerves and anxiety, or a pattern of excelling academically despite facing challenges with standardized tests. So for example, I did not do well on the SAT or the ACT, but I had a great undergraduate GPA. I'm just not a good standardized test taker. That would provide context or a precedent for the fact that you might not do well on the LSAT, but you could still succeed in law school. Now, I'm going to share with you a couple of examples of effective addenda that you might want to write if this situation applies to you. For example, if you had a dip in your GPA due to work commitments. Here's a quoted example. During my sophomore year, I worked 2 part-time jobs to support my family. Balancing work and coursework impacted my GPA that semester, but once my financial situation stabilized, I was able to prioritize my classes and maintained a 3.8 GPA for the remainder of college. Second example for an LSAT score discrepancy. After my first LSAT attempt, I realized my study methods weren't effective. I reevaluated my approach, invested in a structured LSAT prep course, and improved my LSAT score by 12 points on my second attempt. This growth demonstrates my commitment to adapting and overcoming challenges. And by the way, if this is you, if your previous approach has not worked for the LSAT and you're looking to change it up, at LSAT Unplugged, we'd be glad to support you. We offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. You can check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, finally, a third example here for a low GPA addendum related to medical leave. Quote, in my junior year, I took a medical leave due to a serious illness which disrupted my academic progress. However, after returning, I successfully completed my coursework and achieved a 3.9 GPA during my final year. I believe this reflects my resilience and readiness for rigorous academic environments. So you'll see once again, we had a temporary drop in GPA, but then after the situation resolved, GPA improved significantly. We're demonstrating growth. We're demonstrating bouncing back and overcoming difficult challenges. Law school admission officers love to see this. Now, remember, of course, whatever your addendum is about, try to end on a positive note. Highlight how you've grown since whatever the negative situation was, what you've accomplished since then, and why you're ready for law school now. Admission officers highly value candidates who have a demonstrated track record of being able to overcome obstacles and have been able to demonstrate resilience in tough situations. Anyway, folks, that's all for now. I hope you found the video helpful. If you'd like my help on your journey to getting the highest LSAT score possible, getting into the best law school possible, feel free to reach out. My team and I would be glad to support you. Check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.